글로벌 주간 시사 및 과학, 인문, 썬데이 위클리 뉴스 2026년 7월 4주 1. Politics and International Relations 1.1. The United States and Saudi Arabia sign a historic civil nuclear agreement. On July 22, 2026, the United States and Saudi Arabia officially signed a historic bilateral agreement concerning the peaceful use of nuclear energy, commonly referred to as a 123 agreement. Signed in Washington by U.S. Energy Secretary Chris Wright and Saudi Energy Minister Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman, this 30-year pact lays the comprehensive legal foundation for a multi-billion-dollar partnership. The agreement effectively grants American corporations a priority status in developing Saudi Arabia's highly anticipated civil nuclear energy program, which is designed to diversify the kingdom's fossil fuel-dominated energy grid and support large-scale water desalination projects. However, the international community has intensely debated the specifics of this geopolitical arrangement. The most controversial element involves the potential for Saudi Arabia to develop domestic uranium enrichment capabilities on its own soil. While this specific technology is fundamentally intended to increase the fissile uranium-235 isotope to levels required for peaceful electricity generation, the exact same technological process can theoretically be reconfigured to produce highly enriched weapons-grade materials. This marks a significant and highly scrutinized departure from previous U.S. non-proliferation policies. For example, the 2009 agreement established with the United Arab Emirates strictly prohibited any domestic enrichment capabilities. Critics argue that this strategic concession could inadvertently ignite a dangerous nuclear arms race in the historically volatile Middle East region. In response to these pressing concerns, U.S. officials firmly maintain that the agreement upholds the absolute highest international standards of nuclear safety and includes rigorous bilateral safeguards to prevent the proliferation of nuclear weapons. Moving forward, the deal must undergo a mandatory 90-day review process by the U.S. Congress, where lawmakers will meticulously evaluate the delicate balance between securing commercial energy interests, maintaining regional stability, and enforcing global non-proliferation objectives.
Vocabulary. Bilateral. Adjective. 양자의, 쌍방의. The two nations established a bilateral trade agreement to boost their economies. Desalination. Noun. 담수화. 바닷물에서 염분을 제거함. Desalination plants are essential for providing fresh water in desert regions. Controversial. Adjective. 논란이 많은. The new tax policy remains a highly controversial issue among citizens. Enrichment. Noun. 농축, 풍부하게 함. Uranium enrichment is a complex and highly monitored industrial process. Non-proliferation. Noun. 핵무기 등의 비확산. The treaty aims to guarantee global non-proliferation of dangerous weapons. Concession. Noun. 양보, 인정. The company made a significant concession during the labor negotiations. Inadvertently. Adverb. 무심코, 의도치 않게. He inadvertently deleted the crucial files from the shared server. Volatile. Adjective. 변동성이 큰, 불안정한. Investors are cautious because the stock market has been highly volatile lately. Rigorous. Adjective. 엄격한, 철저한. The scientists subjected the new medication to a rigorous testing process. Meticulously. Adverb. 꼼꼼하게, 세심하게. The detective meticulously examined every inch of the crime scene.
시사 용어 해설 123 협정 123 어그리먼트 미국의 원자력법 어토믹 에너지 액트 오브 1954 제123조에 근거한 법정 명칭입니다. 미국이 다른 나라의 원자력 관련 물질, 장비, 기술 등을 평화적 목적으로 수출하기 위해 반드시 체결해야 하는 양자 간 협정입니다. 우라늄 농축, 유레니움 인리치먼트, 자연 상태의 우라늄에는 핵 분열을 일으키는 우라늄 235가 0.7%밖에 없습니다. 이를 원자력 발전소 연료로 쓰기 위해 3에서 5% 정도로 비율을 높이는 과정을 농축이라고 합니다. 하지만 이를 90% 이상 고도로 농축하면 핵무기의 원료가 되기 때문에 국제사회가 매우 민감하게 감시합니다. 비확산, non-proliferation, 핵무기, 생화학무기 등 대량 살상 무기와 이를 운반할 수 있는 미사일 기술이 기존 보유국 이외의 다른 국가나 테러 단체로 퍼져나가는 것을 막기 위한 국제적인 외교 정책 및 노력을 뜻합니다.
2. Economics and Society. 2-1. Federal Appeals Court declines to reinstate the $100,000 H-1B visa fee. In a highly consequential legal decision on July 24, 2026, the United States Court of Appeals for the First Circuit formally refused to reinstate a controversial $100,000 supplemental fee on new H-1B visa applications, dealing a substantial blow to the previous administration's restrictive immigration policies. The H-1B program serves as a critical immigration pathway utilized by major American technology corporations, academic institutions, and medical facilities to sponsor highly skilled foreign workers in specialty occupations that demand advanced theoretical or technical expertise. The executive branch had initially introduced this exorbitant financial requirement in late 2025 via a presidential proclamation, with the explicit goal of drastically curtailing the influx of foreign professionals and compelling domestic employers to prioritize American workers. However, a unified coalition of 20 U.S. states, alongside numerous universities and corporate advocacy groups, immediately challenged the policy in federal court. Earlier in the summer, a federal district judge in Massachusetts struck down the policy, determining that the massive $100,000 charge functioned not as a legitimate processing fee, but rather as an unlawful tax imposed without the constitutionally required authorization from Congress. Furthermore, the court ruled that the implementation violated the Administrative Procedure Act by exceeding statutory authority. The appellate court firmly upheld this nationwide suspension, concluding that the government was highly unlikely to succeed in proving the fee was lawful. This judicial ruling provides immense relief to the technology and higher education sectors, which fundamentally rely on international talent to drive scientific research and technological innovation. Critics of the overturned fee argued that it would have caused catastrophic economic setbacks, making it financially impossible for many organizations, especially nonprofits and research universities, to hire top-tier global experts. Although the overarching legal battle may continue, the current suspension ensures that the U.S. labor market remains accessible to specialized global professionals. Vocabulary. Consequential. Adjective. 중대한, 결과로 일어나는. The CEO made a highly consequential decision that changed the company's future. Reinstate. Verb. 복귀시키다, 회복시키다. The school board decided to reinstate the canceled art program. Exorbitant. Adjective. 과도한, 터무니없는. The hotel charged an exorbitant fee for room service. Curtail. Verb. 축소하다, 삭감하다. The government plans to curtail spending on defense next year. Authorization. Noun. 권한 부여, 허가. You cannot enter the restricted facility without proper authorization. Appellate. Adjective. 항소해, 상소해. The appellate court reviewed the evidence from the initial trial. Catastrophic. Adjective. 파멸적인, 대재앙의. The sudden earthquake had a catastrophic impact on the local infrastructure. Overarching. Adjective. 무엇보다 중요한, 전반에 걸친. The overarching goal of the project is to reduce carbon emissions. Statutory. Adjective. 법정에, 법령에 명시된. The company failed to meet its statutory obligations regarding employee safety. Advocate. Verb/noun. 지지하다, 옹호자. Environmental groups advocate for strictly regulated waste disposal.
시사 용어 해설. H-1B 비자, H-1B 비자. 미국 기업이 IT, 공학, 수학, 의학 등 고도의 전문 지식이 필요한 분야, Specialty Occupation에 외국인 전문가를 합법적으로 고용할 수 있도록 내어주는 취업 비자입니다. 미국의 실리콘밸리 기술 기업들이 전 세계의 우수 인재를 영입할 때 가장 많이 사용하는 비자입니다. 대통령 포고령, Presidential Proclamation. 미국 대통령이 의회의 복잡한 입법 절차를 거치지 않고 국가 정책이나 법적 효력을 갖는 명령을 대중에게 공포하는 행정 조치입니다. 비자 발급 제한 등 행정부의 권한 내에서 빠르게 정책을 집행할 때 사용됩니다. 행정 절차법, Administrative Procedure Act, APA. 미국 연방정부의 행정기관들이 규칙이나 규정을 제정하고 공포할 때 반드시 따라야 하는 절차를 규정한 법률입니다. 행정기관이 법적 권한을 남용하거나 자의적으로 정책을 시행하는 것을 방지하여 국민의 권리를 보호합니다.
3. Science and Technology. 3.1. Scientists map the invisible microbiome of the Great Barrier Reef. A collaborative team of marine scientists has successfully completed the first comprehensive genomic mapping of the microscopic life inhabiting the open waters of Australia's Great Barrier Reef, leading to groundbreaking ecological discoveries. Published in the prestigious scientific journal Nature on July 23, 2026, the extensive study analyzed seawater samples from 48 different reefs, revealing 584 previously undocumented bacterial species and over 300,000 distinct viral genomes. To achieve this unprecedented scientific feat, researchers purposefully bypassed traditional laboratory culturing methods, which historically limited scientists to studying only a minute fraction of marine life that could survive in a petri dish. Instead, the team utilized an advanced analytical technique called metagenomics, combined with cutting-edge long-read sequencing technology, to extract and decode complex DNA directly from the ocean water. The research highlighted the presence of massive quantities of microbes, including critical microalgae like Bathycoccus and Ostriococcus. These invisible organisms serve as the fundamental biological foundation of marine ecosystems. They produce the vast majority of the oxygen essential for terrestrial life and sustain the entire ocean food web, supporting everything from tiny zooplankton to massive whales. Establishing this publicly accessible Great Barrier Reef microbial genomes database is exceptionally crucial for modern environmental conservation. Because microbial communities rapidly alter their composition in response to environmental stressors, such as rising ocean temperatures, severe coral bleaching, and heavy metal pollution, they act as a highly sensitive ecological early warning system. Scientists can now detect microscopic ecological damage and shifts in overall reef health long before physical deterioration becomes visible to the naked eye. This remarkable genetic library will empower researchers globally to monitor delicate coral ecosystems precisely, providing vital insights needed to protect one of the world's most magnificent natural wonders from the escalating threats of human activity.
Vocabulary. Comprehensive. Adjective. 포괄적인, 종합적인. The committee published a comprehensive report on urban development. Inhabit. Verb. 서식하다, 거주하다. Several rare species of birds inhabit this dense tropical forest. Unprecedented. Adjective. 전례 없는, 유례 없는. The technology offers an unprecedented level of security for online transactions. Bypass. Verb. 우회하다, 건너뛰다. The new highway will bypass the congested city center. Terrestrial. Adjective. 지구에, 육지에. Frogs are amphibians, meaning they live in both aquatic and terrestrial environments. Deterioration. Noun. 악화, 하락. The prolonged drought caused a rapid deterioration in soil quality. Magnificent. Adjective. 웅장한, 장엄한. The tourists stood in awe of the magnificent ancient architecture. Escalating. Adjective. 고조되는, 점증하는. The mayor addressed the escalating concerns about public safety. Minute. Adjective. 극미한, 극히 작은. Only a minute trace of the chemical was found in the water supply. Alter. Verb. 변하게 하다, 바꾸다. The unexpected weather completely altered our travel plans. 시사용어 해설. 마이크로바이옴.
바닷물, 토양, 심지어 인간의 장 속에 이르기까지 특정 환경에 서식하는 모든 미생물 군집, 미생물 생태계와 이들의 유전 정보를 통틀어 일컫는 말입니다. 생태계의 건강을 유지하고 조절하는 보이지 않는 지휘자 역할을 합니다. 메타게놈학, 환경 샘플, 바닷물, 흙 등을 채취하여 실험실에서 개별 미생물을 하나씩 배양하는 번거로운 과정을 거치지 않고 그 안에 섞여 있는 모든 미생물의 DNA를 한꺼번에 추출하여 분석하는 최신 학문입니다. 장독해 시퀀싱, DNA의 염기 서열, 유전 암호를 분석할 때 과거에는 DNA를 아주 짧게 잘라서 읽은 뒤 퍼즐처럼 맞췄다면 이 기술은 길고 연속적인 DNA 조각을 한 번에 스캔하듯 읽어내어 훨씬 빠르고 정확하게 복잡한 유전체를 해독할 수 있게 해줍니다. 4. Environment Earth Science 4.1 National Academy's report validates extreme weather attribution science. A landmark scientific report released by the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine, NASM, in July 2026 has significantly bolstered the global scientific consensus on extreme weather attribution. The comprehensive assessment, compiled by a specialized panel of 14 leading atmospheric scientists and climatologists, confirms that researchers can now confidently determine the exact extent to which human-caused climate change influences individual extreme weather events. The specialized field, known as extreme event attribution, has advanced exponentially over the past decade. This progress is primarily driven by superior satellite observations, extended historical climate records, and the development of higher-resolution global climate models that can simulate complex weather patterns with unprecedented accuracy. According to the report, scientific confidence is currently highest when linking anthropogenic climate change to extreme temperature fluctuations, such as intense heat waves or severe cold spells, as well as large-scale precipitation and drought events. Conversely, confidence remains relatively lower for highly complex, small-scale phenomena, like localized wildfires and tropical cyclones, hurricanes, which are heavily influenced by a multitude of intersecting natural and atmospheric drivers. This robust scientific validation carries profound practical implications for modern society. Beyond merely improving public awareness of global warming, these precise attribution studies provide crucial, actionable data for governments to manage future risks and upgrade vulnerable urban infrastructure. Furthermore, these findings are increasingly being weaponized in high-stakes climate litigation, providing the empirical evidence necessary for legal systems and policymakers to hold major fossil fuel corporations financially accountable for the environmental and economic damages caused by their historic carbon emissions. Ultimately, the NASM report bridges the critical gap between abstract climate statistics and the localized disasters directly affecting human lives.
Vocabulary. Landmark. Adjective/noun. 획기적인, 기념비적인. The scientist made a landmark discovery in the field of genetics. Bolster. Verb. 강화하다, 지지하다. The military sent additional troops to bolster the defense line. Attribution. Noun. 귀속, 원인 규명. Accurate attribution of cyber attacks is essential for national security. Anthropogenic. Adjective. 인류 활동에 의한, 인위적인. We must reduce anthropogenic carbon emissions to slow global warming. Precipitation. Noun. 강수량, 강우. Annual precipitation in this desert is extremely low. Conversely. Adverb. 반대로, 역으로. He is usually loud and outgoing. Conversely, his sister is very shy. Implication. Noun. 영향, 결과, 암시. The new policy will have serious implications for small businesses. Empirical. Adjective. 경험적인, 실증적인. The study relies on empirical data collected over a 5-year period. Accountable. Adjective. 책임이 있는. The manager will be held accountable for the team's poor performance. Infrastructure. Noun. 기반시설, infra. The city needs funding to repair its aging infrastructure, like roads and bridges.
시사용어 해설, 기상이변 귀인과학, Extreme Event Attribution Science. 특정 시기에 발생한 극심한 폭염, 가뭄, 홍수 등이 단순히 자연적인 기상이변인지 아니면 인간이 배출한 온실가스, 기후변화로 인해 그 발생 가능성과 강도가 얼마나 증폭되었는지를 정밀한 수학적 모델을 통해 과학적으로 추적하고 밝혀내는 연구 분야입니다. 기후소송, Climate Litigation. 온실가스를 대량으로 뿜어낸 글로벌 화석 연료 기업이나 환경보호 의무를 다하지 않은 정부를 상대로 기후변화 피해에 대한 금전적 배상이나 정책 변화를 요구하며 법정에 세우는 소송을 의미합니다. 경험적 증거, Empirical Evidence. 이론이나 추측이 아니라 실제 실험, 관찰, 데이터 측정 등을 통해 감각으로 확인하고 수집할 수 있는 객관적이고 확실한 증거를 말합니다.
5. Health and Wellness. 5.1. Novel biomimetic gel could naturally regrow tooth enamel, offering a permanent and transformative solution to both tooth decay and painful dentine sensitivity. Enamel is the hardest tissue in the human body, acting as a vital shield against extreme temperature changes, acidic foods, and daily physical friction. However, because mature enamel contains absolutely no living cells, it cannot biologically repair itself once it is eroded by poor oral hygiene or natural wear and tear. While traditional preventative treatments like fluoride varnishes can only superficially strengthen the remaining structural layers, this newly developed, entirely fluoride-free gel actively rebuilds the lost tooth structure from the ground up. The gel is formulated from advanced synthetic proteins that are meticulously designed to mimic the natural biological proteins responsible for enamel development in human infants. When a dentist applies the gel, it creates a durable coating that penetrates microscopic cracks. It then draws naturally occurring calcium and phosphate ions directly from the patient's own saliva. Through a highly sophisticated chemical process known as epitaxial mineralization, these specific ions bind and form new mineral crystals that align perfectly with the tooth's existing biological architecture. This seamless structural integration successfully restores the mechanical strength, durability, and physical properties of healthy natural enamel. Additionally, applying this biomimetic gel to exposed dentine can permanently cure severe tooth sensitivity by creating a protective mineral barrier over the microscopic nerve channels. Given that poor oral health is globally linked to broader systemic medical conditions like diabetes and cardiovascular disease, this breakthrough holds immense public health promise. The research team is actively commercializing the technology through a startup called Mintech Bio, with commercial clinical products expected to launch globally within the next year.
Vocabulary. Biomimetic. Adjective. 생체 모방해. Engineers used a biomimetic design to make the robot move like a cheetah. Transformative. Adjective. 변화시키는, 변혁적인. The invention of the internet had a transformative effect on communication. Friction. Noun. 마찰. The mechanical parts require oil to reduce friction and prevent overheating. Erode. Verb. 침식시키다. 서서히 파괴하다. Wind and water will slowly erode the rock over thousands of years. Superficially. Adverb. 표면적으로. 겉으로만. He only superficially understood the complex theory. Meticulously. Adverb. 꼼꼼하게, 세심하게. The event planner meticulously organized every detail of the wedding. Synthetic. Adjective. 합성해, enjoy. Synthetic rubber is widely used in manufacturing car tires. Integration. Noun. 통합. Successful integration of the new software will improve our workflow. Breakthrough. Noun. 획기적인 발전, 돌파구. The discovery of penicillin was a major breakthrough in modern medicine. Systemic. Adjective. 전신에, 전체 조직에 영향을 미치는. The disease causes systemic inflammation throughout the patient's body.
시사용어 해설. 에나멜. 인체에서 가장 단단한 물질로 치아의 가장 바깥쪽 표면을 하얗게 덮고 있는 범랑질입니다. 외부의 충격이나 온도 변화, 산성물질로부터 치아 내부를 보호하지만 세포가 없어서 스스로 재생되지 않습니다. 생체 모방. 생물체가 오랜 진화를 거쳐 갖추게 된 뛰어난 형태, 구조, 기능, 단백질 생성 원리 등을 모방하여 인류가 직면한 기술적, 의학적 문제를 해결하는 신소재나 기술을 개발하는 분야입니다. 에피텍셜 광물화. 결정이 성장할 때 빛바탕이 되는 기존 물질의 결정 구조와 배열을 그대로 모방하여 똑같은 방향과 형태로 새로운 결정, 광물이 층을 이루며 자라나게 하는 정밀한 화학적 과정입니다. 이 덕분에 새로 생성된 치아 성분이 기존 치아와 완벽히 한 몸처럼 결합할 수 있습니다.
6. Culture, Arts, and Media. 6.1. Paramount halts Warner Brothers mega merger amid antitrust lawsuit. The highly anticipated $111 billion mega merger between entertainment giants Paramount Skydance and Warner Brothers Discovery has been officially delayed until at least June 1, 2027, following a fierce and complex antitrust lawsuit. This monumental corporate transaction, which proposed uniting some of the world's most historic movie studios, lucrative television networks, and massive streaming platforms under the leadership of executive David Ellison, was temporarily halted on July 24, 2026 by a federal judge. The aggressive legal challenge was spearheaded by a formidable coalition of 12 U.S. states, predominantly led by California Attorney General Rob Bonta. These states passionately argue that merging these colossal media behemoths would create an illegal, anti-competitive monopoly, causing irreversible harm to the broader entertainment industry and the public. According to the comprehensive lawsuit, this unprecedented corporate consolidation would drastically reduce market competition, inevitably leading to exponentially higher subscription prices for streaming consumers, a marked decline in overall creative content quality, and a sharp reduction in the number of diverse films released in traditional movie theaters. Furthermore, prominent labor unions and industry professionals have expressed deep, pervasive anxieties over potential massive job losses resulting from corporate restructuring, alongside a dangerous narrowing of creative storytelling diversity. While the U.S. Justice Department's Antitrust Division had previously signaled unexpected regulatory approval for the transaction, this state-led legal intervention underscores the growing governmental scrutiny over media consolidation. As the global streaming wars fiercely intensify against established rivals like Netflix and Amazon Prime, this prolonged legal battle will ultimately set a major historical precedent regarding exactly how much economic and cultural power a single media conglomerate can legally wield over global pop culture and content distribution. Vocabulary. Merger. Noun. 합병. The merger of the two companies created the largest telecom provider in the country. Antitrust. Adjective. 반독점에, 독점 금지에. The government launched an antitrust investigation to ensure fair market competition. Lucrative. Adjective. 수익성이 좋은, 돈벌이가 되는. She left her previous job for a highly lucrative position in finance. Behemoth. Noun. 거대 기업, 거대한 것. The software behemoth recently acquired 3 promising tech startups. Consolidation. Noun. 합병, 통합, 강화. Industry consolidation often leads to massive layoffs and restructuring. Inevitably. Adverb. 불가피하게, 필연적으로. The rapid population growth will inevitably cause a housing shortage. Pervasive. Adjective. 만연한, 스며드는. There is a pervasive feeling of anxiety among the employees facing layoffs. Scrutiny. Noun. 정밀 조사, 철저한 검토. The mayor's financial records are under intense public scrutiny. Precedent. Noun. 선례, 판례. The judge's unique ruling set a legal precedent for future internet privacy cases. Conglomerate. Noun. 복합기업, 대기업. The media conglomerate owns several movie studios and cable networks globally. 돋보기, 시사용어 해설. 합병, 뭐죠? 2개 이상의 독립된 기업이 하나로 합쳐지는 경영 전략입니다. 규모의 경제를 실현하고 시장 점유율을 높여 경쟁력을 강화하기 위해 주로 이루어지지만 시장을 독차지하게 될 우려도 있습니다. 반독점법, 엔티트러스트로. 거대한 소수 기업이 시장을 지배하여 독점, 가격을 마음대로 올리거나 중소기업의 경쟁 참여를 방해하는 것을 막아 소비자의 권익을 보호하기 위한 법률입니다. 미국의 경우 주 정부와 연방 정부가 각각 기업의 합병을 규제하고 소송을 제기할 수 있습니다. 스트리밍 전쟁, 스트리밍 월스. 넷플릭스, 아마존 프라임, 디즈니 플러스, HBO 맥스, 파라마운트 플러스 등 글로벌 OTT, 온라인 동영상 서비스 플랫폼들이 더 많은 가입자를 유치하고 매력적인 오리지널 독점 콘텐츠를 확보하기 위해 벌이는 막대한 자본과 규모의 치열한 경쟁을 뜻합니다. Number 7. Education and Scholarship. Number 7.1. Early career researchers lead the shift towards AI-first academic discovery. A highly comprehensive white paper titled The State of AI Use Among Researchers, officially published by the prestigious academic publisher Springer Nature on July 20, 2026, reveals a significant generational shift in how academic research is currently conducted globally. Developed in close collaboration with Fudan University and the Shanghai Academy of AI for Science, this extensive survey collected responses from over 10,400 international scholars across multiple disciplines. The report highlights that artificial intelligence, AI, has rapidly become deeply embedded at the earliest foundational stages of the scientific and academic process. The statistics present a clear career stage divide. Approximately 48% of early career researchers reported using AI tools frequently for discovering academic literature, gathering complex information, and editing scientific papers. In stark contrast, only 34% of more established senior academics reported the same level of frequent usage. This empirical data strongly underscores that younger scholars are rapidly adopting an innovative AI-first methodology, fundamentally transforming how educational and research institutions operate in the modern digital age. However, the rapid integration of AI into academia is not without substantial systemic challenges. The study found that institutional financial support remains alarmingly low. Only 11% of researchers receive funding from their universities to purchase premium AI tools, forcing a vast majority to rely on less secure, free, general-purpose models. Furthermore, many academics expressed lingering critical concerns regarding the accuracy and trustworthiness of AI-generated content, citing the persistent risk of data hallucinations. Consequently, AI usage drops significantly for highly critical, accountability-driven tasks like formal peer review and final submission decisions, where rigorous human professional judgment remains absolutely indispensable. The findings emphasize an urgent need for universities to provide formal ethical guidelines and specialized, trusted AI tools. Vocabulary. Comprehensive. Adjective. 포괄적인, 종합적인. The training manual provides a comprehensive guide to the new software. Embed. Verb. 깊이 박다, 내장하다. The journalist was embedded with the military unit during the conflict. Empirical. Adjective. 경험적인, 실증적인. His theory is fully supported by empirical evidence from multiple experiments. Fundamental. Adjective. 근본적인, 본질적인. Trust is a fundamental component of any successful relationship. Indispensable. Adjective. 없어서는 안 될, 필수적인. Her expertise in data analysis makes her an indispensable member of the team. Stark. Adjective. 극명한, 황량한. There is a stark contrast between the rich neighborhood and the slums. Methodology. Noun. 방법론, 연구 방법. We need to review the methodology of the survey to ensure accurate results. Systemic. Adjective. 구조적인, 전반적인. The economic crisis revealed a systemic flaw in the banking industry. Persistent. Adjective. 끊임없는, 지속적인. He faced persistent rumors about his resignation throughout the year. Rigorous. Adjective. 엄격한, 철저한. The athletes followed a rigorous training schedule before the Olympics.
시사 용어 해설. 백서, 화이트 페이퍼. 본래 영국 정부가 정책이나 현안을 의회에 보고할 때 거표지를 흰색으로 한 데서 유래한 말입니다. 오늘날에는 정부, 기업 또는 연구기관이 특정 문제나 주제에 대한 현황, 분석, 해결 방안 등을 대중이나 전문가들에게 깊이 있게 설명하기 위해 발행하는 공식적이고 권위 있는 보고서를 뜻합니다. AI 환각 현상, AI 할루시네이션. 챗 GPT와 같은 인공지능이 마치 사람처럼 아주 자연스럽게 글을 쓰지만 그 내용 중에 실제로는 존재하지 않거나 사실이 아닌 거짓 정보를 마치 명백한 진실인 것처럼 그럴싸하게 만들어내어 답변하는 치명적인 오류 현상을 말합니다. 동료 심사, 피어 리뷰. 학자나 연구자가 작성한 과학 논문을 공식 학술지에 게재하기 전에 같은 분야의 다른 전문가, 동료들이 익명으로 논문의 질, 연구 방법의 타당성, 신뢰도 등을 꼼꼼하고 엄격하게 평가하고 검증하는 학문적 필수 절차입니다.